What's going on, everybody? You are now tuned in to the Triple M podcast. My name is MP.
My name is Stefan, SB.
And we back like we never left.
Because we literally didn't leave.
we literally did not leave.
Didn't leave, but we're back.
We're back here at Olympus Boxing Club in the Northeast. Beautiful facility. If you are in Calgary and you are looking to get into boxing, or if you are in boxing and you're looking for an amazing facility, don't be afraid to come and say hi, because, man, you'll be shocked as soon as you walked in. Literally shocked.
How shocked?
Out of 10? Probably a 10, man. Yeah, because, man, like, these bags here are next level, man.
Yep.
But I'm pumped, man. It's going to be... The guest we have on today, you probably seen him if you follow boxing. Because I'll tell you guys a story before we start. When I first started boxing about 2 years ago, I tell this guy every time. Every time I see him. Before I started boxing, I would go into Instagram, search like boxing, how to box and all that stuff. And obviously it's weird how the algorithm works. It starts showing you people like coaches, right? And then this coach kept showing up. I'm like, damn, this guy knows what he's talking about. Fast forward to when we started Triple M's.
Yeah.
We're looking at Canadian boxers.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, this dude pops up. I'm like, yo, he's from Canada?
I just thought he's from like Toronto or something, to be honest with you.
Bro, I thought he was from California, no lie.
Yeah, at first. And then I saw Canada. I'm like, next thing you know, it's Olympus. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, because
like same city.
Yeah, no swagged out Asian dudes from Canada, you know? It's always LA.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'm like, that's a beach boy. This guy goes to the beach every day.
100%. Lo and behold, he's here, man. But without further ado, man, do you want to give the intro?
Oh, you already did.
Man, let's do this, man. I'm going to give you an intro.
Continue on.
Let's do this. So today we are joined by no one other than the big legend himself, Mr. George Chen. 3-time Golden Gloves champion, Alberta Provincial Champion, and he is literally an inspiration to many. Beyond his experience and accolades in the ring, he's also a dedicated coach with over 10 years of experience. So without further ado, GC Boxing, George Chen, welcome to the Triple M's, man.
What up, guys?
Man, it's crazy how that algorithm works, eh?
It is. And it's funny, like you were saying, the whole California thing. Like, it's hilarious because so many people, when my page was first blowing up, everyone used to be like, yo, what part of Cali you from?
Yeah, see, exactly.
People always message me. They're like, yo, where's your gym in Cali? I'm like, bro, what? Y'all talking about Calgary, right? I'm like, I'm from Calgary. We get fucking snow. I'm like, I want to be from Cali. Yo, someone, get me over there.
Yeah, because I remember, like, before we even started, we're like in the ring just chatting, and you're like, man, Calgary winners.
I thought he was going to go on another tangent. I'm like, here we go. We just started.
Yeah.
But if you haven't experienced Calgary winners, it is messed up. The first time I went to Calgary was during the winter time.
That was funny.
And I came in like a little like jacket, a little puffer jacket. I didn't think it was going to be cold. He was like, bro, be prepared. I'm like, it's -40. I'm negative 40. Vancouver gets like -10. Thinking, what's the worst that could happen? I'm in the nice warm plane. I'm like, okay, this is nice. They open the gates. I walk out. I'm like, damn,
Bro, you can feel like
it.
you can feel your breath.
Yeah, in your lungs.
Yeah.
Like it's like icicles. I'm
in
like,
your nose, too.
Yeah,
when you
like
breathe.
needles in here.
Yeah, and I was telling him too, because around that time it was November. I'm like, well, it's this November is kind of weird because it's not as cold. But last year I was like, yo, I was doing a program called 75 Hard. Are you familiar with it?
No.
So 75 Hard, you have to work out outside, you have to work out inside. You have to do 2 workouts, right?
Yeah.
75
And I was
days.
telling him, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna run. He was like, bro, you're not gonna run here. I'm like, why? You're gonna get sick. I'm like, yeah, shit, fuck that. So like, as soon as I get here, I'm like, yeah, I'm failing 75 Hard. I'm not doing this no more.
Or hypothermia, bro. Like, right away, it's just pins and needles. Right, like every time you take a breath and you take hot water outside, that shit freezes. Like,
Yeah. We
So,
should do that.
so that's a real thing.
Yeah, it's a
It definitely
bro,
is.
it's not an edit, bro.
No,
You
it's
literally
not- it's not
keep
an
boiling hot water when it's cold outside. You throw it just turns into
Yeah,
snow.
yeah.
Yeah. It's actually
Man,
it's wild.
I
That's
thought that
how
was a
cold it
myth.
is.
I thought that was like some crazy editing.
We don't need to edit. It's all natural.
Yeah,
All
exactly.
natural, bro.
So let's get into it, George. I wanna get to know a little bit more about your story. So, why boxing?
Yeah, it's crazy. When I like growing up, I always idolized people like, I'm Chinese. Like I idolized people like Donnie Yen, Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee, Jet Li, and I watch those films. I'm like so into martial arts. But my parents, very traditional, first generation immigrants here, right?
Yep.
So they know nothing, and they couldn't speak English or nothing. So all they know is hard work, and they're just trying to make a better life for us. And they're telling me like, why do you want to do all this stuff? So I'm never allowed to do anything outside of school. And they didn't know better to do any extracurricular. So I didn't get to do any sport programs or anything. So all I had growing up was I had a basketball. So I played a lot of basketball on the street.
Yep.
Like in the Northeast, in Marlboro and stuff. Like I didn't really have any. I never went to a basketball program either. So I had nothing, no extracurricular, no sports growing up. And it was like, I think I was 19. After like 18, graduated high school. Didn't know what I wanted to do. I was just kind of following like what they had planned for me. And I didn't like the plan, but I was just going along with it, going through the motions. And I got hella depressed in university. It was like 2 years in, I was failing every class. It wasn't for me. I was like, dude, this stuff is not me. It's not who I am. And it was a dark time in my life. And then I remember, it's funny, you were saying, weird thing about algorithm, right? So my YouTube, it's full of like martial arts, fighting stuff. So I saw like a lot of MMA, boxing videos. And I saw, like, I used to look up to like Roy Jones Jr., Prince Nassim, those guys, like flashy boxers.
Yeah.
I'm watching all that stuff, documentaries about them. And I'm just like, man, like a lot of these guys came from nothing. And a lot of these guys are just a regular dude who found boxing. And I'm like, yo, why can't that be me?
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? Like, fuck it. Like, what if I want to learn? And I started YouTubing like tutorials. I learned at home by myself in the basement a little bit, and I was like fucking around with it. And I'd like be like, yo, I'd tell my friends and my cousins, yo, let's mess around in the basement. We used to like host a little fight club and mess around. And then I was like, because I was learning on tutorials and shit. They didn't know what they were doing. I was piecing them up, and I'm like, yo, holy fuck, mate. And then I started getting an ego. I'm like, yo, I can fucking do this.
Yeah.
And then that's when I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna try it. And I went like looked up boxing gyms, and then that was it. Like, I just
fell in
went
love
head first with it. Yeah,
love it.
Yeah. And then after, I dropped out of school. Like I dropped out of university. So I mean, don't drop out of school, but like I'm not trying to promote that, right? But I mean, it just wasn't for me, and I decided it was like, you know what, it's time. I'm gonna make a change, and I needed it because I had no discipline, nothing. I had nothing going. I was fat, dude. I was 200 some pounds.
No,
no way,
bro. I was eating my way to like I was 200 pounds. All I did was eat and be miserable, and like I'd sleep in my lectures because I'd just be snacking about I don't relate to the material. And my life was a mess. It was a shambles. Boxing saved me.
That's crazy.
As cliche as it always sounds, everyone's like, yo, boxing saved me. It did save me.
Bro,
I had no direction.
That's great because I can resonate with that a lot because like, bro, Asian parents, you know the vibes, it's like because I dropped out of university as well. I did marketing for one semester.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, I can do this myself.
Yeah.
Like, why do I gotta sit in this place and like listen to this old dude that never ran a business before?
Yeah.
Teach me how to run a business when I can just learn how to do it myself.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man.
Right? And like as soon as I told my parents I'm dropping out, they're like, in Tagalog, bahala ka sa buhay mo. So that basically means what does it
You're
mean?
on your own.
You're basically on your own. You're on your own. Do whatever you want, right? But then we just, as hustlers, we followed our dreams.
Yeah.
And look at us now.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
But they'll never understand it. At the end of the day, they'll never understand.
They still will never understand. Bro, my dad, even to this day, he's always like, when do you stop playing around? When do you stop playing?
He's thinking
I'm like,
playing around. Yeah.
He still thinks I'm playing around. I'm like, bro, I get in the ring, I fight people. Like, it's not.
That's
you
not.
don't
You're
play,
definitely
bro.
not playing
You're
around.
not playing around.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, I'll show you playing around. I'm just kidding.
Put these on, Dad. It's on, man.
No, but to really add to that, it's probably when we talk about a confirmation bias where it worked for them, so they just want it for you because that's what happens to them.
And they
right?
see all these other people that are like, oh, like, look at your cousin, so and so.
Yeah,
They went to school. Look, they got a stable job. But my cousins are all that's why I'm grateful for my family. Some of my cousins, they're always like, man, like, I admire what you're doing because you're doing something that none of us dared to do. We knew we would get killed by our parents, and I was like, I almost did, but I was like, I'm still trying to make it work. I'm like, it's crazy.
And you are figuring it out, bro.
Yeah, every day. It's a struggle still. Like, leading up to 2 weeks out to my first pro fight, it's been a long journey. It's been stressful. Like, so many things have been happening. Even in the last 2 weeks, like, my mind has been crazy. Like, it's just so much going on. All the pressure. Everyone's like, yo, you've been doing this for this many years now. What are we gonna see out of it? And I'm like, yo, just watch, watch. But
trust
like
the process.
yeah,
right?
but it's also hard to keep saying like just watch, trust the process when you like as a fighter and as someone I'm always hard on myself too. So I'm always like, yeah, true. I keep telling everyone just watch, but I'm like, yo, what do I have to show for it? I'm like, I'm not making that much money. Like I coach people, right? I'm still trying to make it as a pro. It took me this many years to finally secure a pro fight. Man, it's a crazy journey. It's not for everybody. Yeah. So don't quit school. Yeah, don't hear don't be like, you know what? I'm a
George quit. I'm about to quit.
No, but one thing I do admire with your journey is that you just went all in on it.
Yeah.
And that's what if you really have that vision, you have to go all in on it. Right? Like you said, you can't play boxing.
Yeah.
You can't be 1 foot in, 1 foot out and expect to win.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's a lot of people like, yo, I hear it all the time. People are like, yo, are you sure you want to put all your eggs in one basket? And then I'm like, I get it. Like, you don't put all your eggs in one basket. It's worked for you. I'm like, bro, but I only got this one fucking basket. For me, this basket is the only fucking thing I got. Yeah. It's the only thing I found. And it's all, and just watch. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, but I'm going to do it. And then let's see what happens. Yeah. Let's see what happens. You know,
that's true.
I'm gonna get that last lap.
Exactly. You will,
you
will, man. You will.
Man, I love it how you're just all in.
Yeah.
And with that mindset, man, talk about that mindset because, again, you dropped out of school and you only have that boxing. So, what? Like, did you ever have any other options, or once you got into boxing, you were just like, okay, this is it?
Nah, like, so there's always like other options. So I was actually I worked as a cook part-time. I was working at Apple. I was doing sales and stuff. I was always doing more than one thing because boxing itself, when I first started, I was just an amateur boxer. I wasn't coaching right away.
Okay.
So I didn't have any, like, I dived into competing, training all the time, but like, just like anyone else, I still had to make money. I still had to pay bills. I still had to, afford food and stuff like that. So I was still doing like all the odd jobs, right, while managing my training. But it was when I started coaching, then I saw like, now this is where I can put all my eggs in the basket, because I found like I was actually pretty good at coaching, and not because I didn't think like, oh, I'm coaching now, I'm good at this. It's like I was just getting so much good feedback from the people I was working with, and then they were like, man, like you explain it differently. Like I never had a coach kind of like make it relatable to me and make it like sound like the way I needed to sound, or like sometimes you don't even have to say something, you just tell me, or you show me the way you show it, you break it down. And then I was like, yo, maybe I am good at coaching too. And then I also got injured. I broke my hand. I busted my wrist. I was out for a couple of years, so I couldn't fight. But I love boxing, so I focused so much attention on coaching. And then that's when I went all in. That's when I actually quit all my other like side jobs. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make this work now. That's when everything was like all in. And that's why right now that I am all in. All I do is boxing. All I do is coach. All I do is train myself and my clients, produce content, make boxing stuff. Yeah, it's everything. But at every turn, there's always a way out. Like my dad, he does like construction, so he does like renovations and contracting. He's always like, you could be making money with me, and I know because I help him. I still help him. He's my family. I help him with like all his administrative stuff. I translate everything for him because he doesn't speak English. So I learned a lot about his business, and I see the numbers. I know how much money he's making, and he's doing well. And then I was like, at any point I could have been like, yeah, fuck boxing, I'm going. But no, that's not for me.
It's not for
like
you.
It wasn't. I never loved that. And I'm like, I want to do this because I'm so passionate about it.
Yeah.
And then it makes you happy to do this kind of stuff too. Because imagine if you're
really
doing that, bro, you'd be miserable.
Yeah, I would be.
Yeah.
I would be. Yeah.
Does it really work if you love what you're doing, right? That's what they say. So
Yeah.
That's facts, man. So talk about learning boxing by yourself, man. that must have been a journey in itself.
Yeah, no, that was crazy, and it's cool because these like I'm about to, I guess, name drop a couple people that I was learning from on YouTube, and they kind of inspired me to make GC boxing, to make my own channel, do my own thing, because I was like, at that time I had there was no resource for me. I didn't know where I could learn boxing. I was just so immersed in it. I was like so obsessed with it. And I was watching that anime, Hajime no Ippo.
Yeah.
Everyone knows. Come on, man.
Yep.
That was the greatest show. But I was inspired by all that, and I'm like, you know what? Let me just see like what it would take. So I googled boxing tutorials, and that Coach Anthony, that guy is good. I don't know if you guys seen him.
Yep.
Like, I learned a lot from just watching his basic fundamental stuff, his programs, and then there's a JT Van V.
Yep.
He's out from Toronto. Amazing people, and like I was watching their videos, and I think there's one more, Fran Sands. These three guys, I was like watching their videos in my basement. And I don't have videos on my phone, but I think on my old laptop that I still have, I have Chubby Me in the basement doing like all the boxing drills and stuff. And I was filming myself, and I was like comparing. And I'm like, when is it gonna look like that?
Yeah.
And then when I started getting comfortable and I was losing weight, I was running every day. And I was like, okay, I gotta make sure I lose some weight before if I can. I was like, I made a goal to myself because I was 200 pounds. I was like, get down to 165. I'm gonna set foot in my first boxing gym. If I can do that, that means I'm all in. So then I got down to 165, and then I searched up boxing gyms. At the time, I was working as a package handler at UPS. I was like throwing heavy bags all the time. And one of the managers was like, I heard you like, because I always talked about boxing. I was so obsessed about it already. They're like, yo, check out this gym. And they're like, check out Impact. And I went to Impact Boxing. That's where my first gym was.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like I walked in the door, and that was where it all began.
How was the experience walking to the boxing gym for the first time?
So nerve-wracking, bro. And like I don't want to say, I don't want to say too many bad things about, because I do have, there's a whole story to it.
Yeah.
And I am still grateful for my journey with Impact and with my first coach. But yeah, it's nerve-wracking. You walk in, and he's an intimidating dude. He's got like the gold chains, the tattoos, and his whole gym's decked out with like the Mayweather stuff.
Yeah.
Like he knows a couple of the Mayweathers. Like he's friends with them. So like I'm like, yo, I was like, shit, like this is a real deal. I'm like, hey, fuck, like what am I getting myself into? And so he sells me on it. And he's a great salesman. That's one thing he's really good at. Like he's probably a better salesman than he is at other things, but he's a good salesman. And like, so every day I committed. I came in, and he saw something in me. He was like, you know what? Like, he's like, you ever boxed before? I'm like, no, never. Like never. He's like, ever had a coach? Nope. He's like, and I remember seeing his face. He was like,
Okay.
that's me. Okay. And I was thinking, I'm like, what's that mean? And I was like, what's that mean? Right? I was like, shit. And then a week later, he's like, yo, try some sparring. Try sparring some of our fighters. I was like, oh shit. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I was like, I've been busting my cousin's ass in the basement. And I'm like, let me see what I can do.
I'm the basement champion here, bro.
Yeah, exactly. I was like,
I got the
fuck
belt.
that. And I was like, I got that dog. So I go into sparring, and I remember I sparred a couple amateur boxers, and they were already pretty seasoned. And for the first little bit, I was actually holding my own. I was like, I've never sparred before, like with real guys, and like I was holding my own for a little bit. And then I still got humbled. I got the shit kicked out of me the first time. Like I got hit with a liver shot. The first time you get hit with a liver shot, you feel like your life is over.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, what is happening? I'm getting shut down right now. And then, boom, boom, my nose is busted. But I remember getting humbled like that. I'm like, damn, these guys are that good, and they're just amateurs. I was like, what more do I have to do? And I'm like, and what do they do? And so I came in every day. I'm watching what they do, and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna copy that. I'll just do exactly what they do. But I obsessed. I like a lot of amateur boxers. They do it part time. They do it for fun.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not doing this for fun. So I came in. I would come in 2 hours before class, and I would leave 2 hours after class. They had to kick me out. They're like, George, we're closing the gym. Get the fuck out. But I would spend all that extra time. I'd do the same basic drills over, because I see them. They all have a routine. They do a little bit of skipping. They do the shadow boxing. They do their footwork drills. They hit the bags and stuff. I didn't hit the bags. I literally always focused on the footwork, the hands, the mirror. And I spent like an hour before class doing that, an hour after class doing that, until they kicked me out. And every day, and then like I just kept doing it. I kept doing it. And the more I sparred, the closer I closed that gap. And this is only in the span of a couple months. And then all the other guys are at the gym at the time. My buddy is Jonathan. There was Sebastian. He was from Mexico. He's a smaller dude. A lot of fights in him. They're all like, you should fight. And I was like, oh shit, like this is real.
Yeah.
Like me, like I should fight. Because now, like, I went from getting dropped every day in sparring
So now you should fight.
To now, like, they're like, yo, you should fight. Because I remember, like, I still remember when I started catching them, and then I saw it on their faces that now they were getting frustrated that I was keeping up and that I was giving them the work. And I'm like, I should fight. I should fight.
Fast forward now, how many amateur fights did you get?
I think I have about 30.
Okay.
Yeah.
We were just talking about it because I was going to ask you this question. In Canada, 30 fights is, for an amateur, that's a lot.
Yeah, like on average, yeah.
Exactly, like 30. Angelo had about 50, which is also a lot.
Yeah, that's also
most of them in the States, he said.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. And he started young.
Exactly.
Yeah, I started at 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this question: what we can do here in Canada to actually expand that? Because I think 30, for me, to be honest, if you compare in the States or Eastern Europe, they do like 100.
You get
300.
30 in a month.
Exactly.
Like it's
Like, you
okay,
can
maybe
literally-
not a month, but like 3 months you get 30.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, no
So, like,
problem.
What difference that we can make for us to actually get to that level? Do you think?
I think it's what you guys are doing is great too. Like this kind of stuff right here, because I don't know who's watching, but anyone watching in Canada, like get more people involved in the sport, and
that's
it's
big.
not just more athletes, because it's the organization that needs to
Absolutely.
expand.
And I
Because
agree.
right now, there's actually we have inspired a lot. We have a huge, like
Yeah.
even our gym, we have like so many amateur boxers. We can't even fit them all into one fight card because they're always like, oh, we have a maximum capacity. We can only
Yeah.
fit 13,
Yeah.
14 fights. And I'm like, bro, we need to grow. Like Calgary, Alberta, Canada needs to grow the sport. East side in Toronto, Montreal, Quebec, yo, they have boxing. I heard they have boxing programs in high school.
Yeah.
Like they get
Damn.
schools with boxing teams. Like how sick would that be if we had that kind of stuff here?
Yeah.
When are we gonna stop only caring about the Calgary Flames and hockey? I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I grew up in Calgary. After 06, I kind of stopped. With the Calgary Flames.
We care
But-
about them, but how about us?
yeah. How about us? Like, there's other talents in Calgary, bro. Even it frustrates me because Steve Claggett, I love him. He's a great mentor, man. This guy, talented and world ranked number 8 right now. What have they said about him in Calgary? Dude, this guy's a Calgary native. He's done this much. He's that far. He's on the cusp of a world championship. And no love from our own city, our own media. It drives me crazy. It's like, yo, we could be expanding our sport. We can be, but no, like we only care about hockey. And I'm like, yo, come on. Like we got other things. And now it's good because I grew up in basketball. Basketball's growing rapidly in Calgary
Oh,
too.
absolutely. Yeah.
And so there's more clubs, there's more things happening. So I'm happy for that. When is boxing gonna get a chance?
Man, I think that's why we should start this, because
Yeah.
just us by talking about it, especially with your influence, I think it's gonna help a lot of people and open a lot of eyes. That's why we're doing this.
Yeah.
We want to expand
Yeah.
the sport.
Yo, and that's the crazy thing too. Like that's another thing. Like you just said with my influence, like, and it's crazy. Like I'm not like I have like I guess I got like 153,000
Just a few,
followers, on Instagram.
Yeah.
Another like 40 on TikTok and
Yeah.
stuff. But the funniest thing when I look at my stats, most of them aren't even from Calgary. It's like worldwide. It's like everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, my own city that doesn't like we don't get out there. I'm like, yo, why? Like, why is my own city, the one I'm from, why don't we get any exposure in the media? I'm
Yeah.
getting like, yeah, it's weird. LA, California.
Maybe
mad
that's because they
followers.
thought you were there.
They thought I was there. I'm like, bro, there's literally snow in the background of my videos. Like where in California are you?
Right.
Oh, right.
But yeah, I love that, bro. It's just, I think we just gotta keep talking about it, and you just gotta keep exposing it, man.
Keep exposing it,
especially with our platform. It's something that we always have to talk about, and we were just talking about it with Angelo. But we just gotta keep making the events and keep building these fighters.
Yeah.
Same as you. So once we start to get that demand, it'll be easier.
It'll be easier,
Obviously, it's easier said than done, but we gotta start somewhere, bro.
Exactly. And
yeah.
what you guys doing at Olympus too? It's for the community.
Yeah.
That's like the first part.
Yeah.
Right? 'Cause
they're
you-
always giving back. Like,
Yeah, man. Your guys' fight night last week.
Yeah.
What is it? 400 people showed up. Were you here?
Yeah, it was a crazy event.
Was it like shoulder to shoulder
So
sardine
much-
style?
Yeah. But the energy in here was crazy. The fights were so fun. Like,
Yeah.
bro, imagine like every weekend stuff like that. Dude, how many people had that much fun watching a boxing event?
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's always fun to
Super
see two
fun.
dudes slug it out.
Yeah,
Like, it's-
exactly.
What people watch hockey and they love when they fight,
That's the best part. That's what I watched.
right?
Yeah.
Like, yo, in boxing. We fight. We fight.
There's none of this. This is fighting.
Yeah.
It's all hands, bro.
That's so true, man. Jeez, man. See, so that's what we're trying to do, man. We're trying to grow this collectively, all of us,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
I think it will happen in time, but it's just a matter of getting more eyes on us.
More eyes and action.
So yeah, let's get into the whole social media game, man. Because
Yeah.
as a coach and boxer, pro boxer, soon,
Yeah.
right, coming into it, you already have like a really good presence on social media,
Yeah.
which in my opinion, is gonna really help catapult your career.
I hope so. Yeah.
Oh, I know so. Right? With speculation, right? We know what will happen. So, how did GC boxing come to life? Was it just from the initial journey, or
A lot of things actually. So it actually happened. Like I said earlier, how I was learning boxing back then. I was like looking on YouTube, like all these guys, like that subconsciously inspired me already. Then it was during COVID, so I'd already started coaching people, and at the gym I was at Impact at the time. So COVID shut everything down.
Yeah.
And so no gyms were open, nothing was happening, and I thought, you know what, like, all the people that I was coaching, they made so much progress. They didn't want to lose it. They were like, yo, George, like, is there any way, like, we can, like, do you have an online thing? And I'm like, no, I don't. But let me think about that. And then, like, I started posting to my Instagram. This is before GC Boxing. It was just on my private page. All the people from my gym. I started posting little video clips. I'm like, yo, guys, so remember before we got shut down, we were doing this in my technique class. Try this drill at home. If you have a friend, do this drill with them. And I started like just filming little videos for them. And I started posting it. And I was posting it for them. And then I don't know what was it, but then I saw there was a new feature on Instagram. It just happened. It was Reels.
Yeah.
And TikTok was getting big at that time. And it was Reels coming out. And then I started seeing other like content producers putting stuff on Reels and like on my trending page. And then it was pushing me things, and I was like, oh, what is all this stuff? And I was like, oh, they just like, they do a little tutorial, and they throw some music on the background, and I was like, it gets a lot of reach. And I'm like, whatever. I was like, I can't do that. I was like, who am I? Who's going to want to watch my shit?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's fucked up. Like, who's going to watch? And some of them, I don't like to say like are bad, but like some of them, I feel like, oh man, that's some misinformation. I'm like, yo, what are they teaching? That's some bullshit. I was like, okay, whatever. And at first I put it off. I'm like, no way. Well, then Instagram has a way of constantly pushing shit to you. And I started seeing some good ones. And I was like, hold on, I could do this. I'm already doing this for the members at the gym anyway.
Yeah.
I was like, let me try this real thing. I started posting some. And I was like, and I started making my own content. And because the gym was closed, but I had the key. So I was able to just go into the gym by myself. I was trying to stay in shape while COVID was happening. So I'd go into the gym anyway. So I was like, set my little tripod up. I'm like, let me try this shit. So I made some videos, and I made a video on like footwork, on head movement. I think it was a head movement one. That was the first one. I edited it in like a little grid on the thing, and I was like, yo, if you have tape, right, you can put it on a mirror. And I was telling you, put your head in a different spot every time you finish punching. And it was just a really simple drill that I always go over with people in my technique class. I posted it with music. Didn't think twice about it. Over like a couple weeks, like nothing really. And then 1 week, I log on to Instagram, and it was just like, like all these fucking notifications. I was like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, what? And I click it, and it's just all these people commenting, liking, sharing this video. And then on Instagram, there's a page called Boxing Media, and they got a big page.
Yeah.
They were like, yo, can we share this? And I'm like, you want to share my stuff? I was like, sure. I was like, yeah, go for it, man. They share it. All these people's followers start flooding in. And it happens like that. And I'm like, holy fuck, this is it.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is where, I was like, this is how all of them do it. I'm like, I found the wave. I'm like, this is it. I gotta ride it. So I was like, I know what I'm doing. Let me just keep making content. So I just kept doing stuff that I teach people anyway, that I would be giving out anyway.
Yeah.
So I just kept posting. And then like I was doing outdoor content, and then it got to like stories. And then I was like, not only do I want to show people the coaching stuff? I'm like, yo, I'm an active boxer. I train too. Like, let me show them into my daily life. So on my stories, I would tell them like, yo, this is my run. This is what it looks like. This is how I'm training. And then my reels would be like all the tutorials and stuff. And then I saw like motivational clips. Still like, fuck, I'll do some of those too every now and then. Like, so I just like broadened the horizon. And then it just kept going. One thing led to another. Next thing you know, guys I watched on like growing up, like Bart Kwan from Barbell Brigade and them. One of my friends was like, did you know Bart Kwan follows you? I'm like, shut the fuck up. I'm like, Bart Kwan follows me? I'm like, no way. And I looked, I was like, holy shit, he does. And then I was looking at some of the videos. I'm like, Bart Kwan liked this, Bart Kwan liked this, Bart Kwan liked it. Then he started commenting. He was like, really good shit, bro. And like stuff like that. And I was like, no way, bro. And this guy messaged me because I was actually going to Vegas for a weekend to watch the Caleb Plant Canelo fight. This is like fast forward some years, yeah. So way out of COVID now and stuff, but yeah. And I saw all that, and then he was like, "Yo, if you have time while you're in Vegas, come shoot some content with me and teach me some things, and then we can do some fun stuff and get to know each other." I was like, bro, this is crazy. I'm like, this is the power of social media.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm like, dude, this is it. And then that's what woke me up to it. I'm like, okay, it's not enough just to be good at boxing. You can not even, like we were just saying
that was my next question with you.
Exactly. It's like we were just saying, just because you're a great boxer doesn't mean you're always gonna sell all the tickets. So you gotta find a way to market yourself. You're now a business. So I think of it like that. I'm like, yo, maybe I don't need to be like the type that comes out and talks a lot of shit and be like, yo, I can fight this guy. Yo, Canelo ain't shit. Canelo's my favorite fighter.
Hey, you might get the fight.
Word, like Canelo. But yeah,
start talking shit.
I'm a huge Canelo fan. I've seen 3 of his fights live. Like I save money. I go to his fights. I love watching his fights. The energy, the Mexican fans, I love it. And I think about it all the time. Like, yo, it's not just enough to be a good fighter. You have to be marketable. You have to put yourself out there. And how can you do that without a big promotion company backing you? I don't come from money. I got nothing. So I was like, only thing I can do is be humble, throw my shit on social media, and I'm like, I'm not talking shit, but I'm making relatable content, I guess, right? And people like it, I guess. Like it's going somewhere. So I was like, shit, you never know. We'll see where it goes. And yeah, it's coming together. My first pro fight's happening, and then after that, like I'm gonna just one foot in front of the other, just keep building, and see where it goes. But you have to now.
Absolutely, man.
Agreed. One thing I will give you praise on. When I was looking over your Instagram, looking at all your like highlights and all that stuff, I'm like, damn, GC seems like a really cool guy. Right?
Really?
And like, he seems like a really good dude, right? Because like with a lot of people, like when on like IG, it's like it's a facade.
Yeah.
Right? And like your content, like what's everything that you see in real life is literally what you'll get.
Is what you get. Yeah.
Right? And I guess that's why a lot of people really do relate to you, because like you're one of us.
I was just gonna say, every time I watch your like stuff, it's just literally me trying to learn, and all I can see is just you and me doing it. Like it's just really relatable, and I think that's the niche that you found, man. These people are just relating to you.
Yeah.
Right, and you're just building a fan base.
Yeah, that was important to me. I was like, I don't want to just be the next guy that's trying to sell you something. You know, obviously it makes sense to do that with social media. Like you can push sales and stuff. I didn't see it like I know it kind of sucks. Like I should make more use of that. I'm trying to find a way to do it, but within a way that like it's genuine. Because I'm not just trying to be like, yo, like I don't need this supplement company to give me this, and I don't even use it, but I just put it in my video. No, like I'm not like that. I want people to be like, bro, like this is what I do. This is what I use. This is what I mess with. I'm just gonna give you guys me. Like I'm just gonna always be me, and hopefully that sells. Hopefully that like the people watching, they're like, yo, this guy is relatable. This guy is exactly who. Like I'm not trying to be nobody else. Yeah, we were talking about it earlier. I was like, I don't think I'm gonna have a ring name. I'm gonna just be
Yeah.
GC because I am me. That's all I am. Nothing more, nothing less. And that's what you get on camera, off camera. I'm the same person.
Anywhere, any place, you can get the work by GC, baby. You know.
Yeah, word. Yeah, exactly. Canelo, what's up?
We always go back. Hey, forget that fight, bro.
Word. He's a little out of my weight class.
It doesn't. No, you're going up, bro. You're going up.
I'm gonna eat all the enchiladas I can to get there.
You're going up, bro.
We gonna make that fight happen.
Yeah.
So with your social media presence now, like, how do you plan to use that in your pro boxing career?
Yeah, so that's the tricky part is after I moved, even with the schedule of the gym and everything, I haven't been and I also like these last I think we're in December now, this last year has been a huge transition for me. I didn't get to make as much content as I wanted to. There's so many things going on in my life. I had a lot of personal things going on. So it's been rough. But now that I'm finally got the pro fight signed and I want to get this going, I'm like, okay, now I gotta get back to doing what I do. So I'm gonna get back on that wheel. I'm gonna start producing all my content again. And just now it's not just GC amateur boxer, amateur coach. It's GC pro fighter, 1-0, 2-0, hopefully. I never wanna be push whatever the saying is. Like I don't overlook anything. I'm one step at a time. But like this guy is he's climbing the ranks. He's fighting as a pro, but he's still doing what he loves. He's still coaching people. And then I hope that is gonna come out onto social media in a positive way. I want to bring a positive breath of fresh air to boxing. It's not just like, we're not all tough guys. Like we're not all like I'm never gonna pick a fight with a dude outside of boxing. I'm not that kind of person. I don't stare at people and be like, yo, don't fuck with me. Like,
Don't look at me.
I'm like, you guys see how cheerful I am. Like I what's up to everybody. Like I'm happy. I like to hang out. But like if things go down, if I have to, but as a boxer, like I just want people to like I really want to show that like boxers, we're just normal people.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And sometimes we're in there, some people we're fighting demons in there, sometimes we're fighting something, like whatever it is, we're all fighting something. And it's a really good like metaphor of life.
Absolutely.
Right? So like I get in the ring, although like all these things are happening to me, I'm not taking it out on my opponent or my sparring partners. I'm still boxing. Boxing is boxing.
Yeah.
It's not at the end of the day, it is a fight, but I have no ill intent towards my opponents, my future opponent. I don't got beef with the guy I'm about to fight. I mad respect for him for even like doing it. Like
showing up, yeah.
Yeah, for showing up, whatever reasons he has. Maybe he's trying to feed his family, whatever it is. We're all like I don't see it as I need to fuck this dude up. I need to overcome him and not let him overcome my skills because this is just boxing. For me, it's just boxing. Not deeper than that. But it is deeper than that. You know what I mean? Like it's a weird thing to say. Yeah.
I like that mindset. It's totally different, but it's not to say it's bad because a lot of people, especially Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
When we get in the ring, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
Right?
Different mindset.
Different mindset, but hey, you guys still want the different it's still the same outcome.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You still want to be victorious.
Oh yeah, and I still want to knock a dude's head loose, knock him out. Like I'm vicious in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I want them to go home safe.
Absolutely.
I want them to. I want them to succeed. I want
I knock you out, but I want you to wake up after.
Yeah, and I do
still be good.
I do want you to win in everything in life, just not against me.
Yeah.
Not against me on this night. 'Cause it's my night.
Yeah, you can win.
Yeah, you go win somewhere.
Yeah.
But not tonight. Tonight is my night.
Yeah, exactly.
But I still want the best for everyone. You know what I mean? I think there's enough hate, enough like not enough love in this world sometimes, and it's just like, bro, why don't we all uplift each other? Just because we're competing, it don't mean that we gotta have beef.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Especially in the sport of boxing.
Yeah.
We both love the same sport. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
So let's have fun, man. You're not gonna win, but let's have fun.
Exactly. Let's have fun. Yeah, you're not gonna win, but
No, let's talk about the, obviously with the leverage that you have with the social media, with your following. As you know, the Canadian boxing scene, the struggles that pro fighters have, especially in Western Canada, it's really bad, man. How do you think you would leverage that now that you have this following? How do you think you can help with this scene that is still small, that we are trying to make big?
Yeah, I think it's gonna come down to showing that like even in Canada, even though if it's small in Canada, social media allowed me like I was telling you guys earlier, a lot of my followers are from Mexico, from the States, LA, New York, anywhere that boxing is big. This is where a lot of my following is. So just because it's in Canada, it's a little smaller, doesn't matter. Social media is gonna show the Canadian media and all that, like, hey, we can bring eyes from all over the world to watch this.
Yeah.
So now I think it's a matter of finding a way to start streaming my fights and taking control out of some big promoters. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, if you're a big promoter and you want to sign top rank, you know, if you guys see, you know, some potential, we work together. But what I mean is, like, now we can put some more power back into the fighters' hands, because growing up, even, you know, like, everyone knows about like the Don King thing and like, or other fighters like getting abused by their management. Now we can put the power back in the boxers with social media. So it's like, yo, as long as people can see me fight, they don't gotta pay $90 pay-per-view. Maybe we start small, $5, $5. I'm sure my supporters, I hopefully, like, they pay $2 to $5. Watch one of my fights, like especially my early fights, and then see it grow from there, bro. If you even get 1,000 people watching from all over the world, $5 each, now that's $5,000.
Yeah,
that's $5,000 more than it would have been.
True.
If you didn't stream it,
you probably would have paid even going.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So then that's one way I see the sport growing. It's like, just instead of, if it's tough to grow in Canada, we can still make the shows happen in Canada, but now we got eyes watching it from Canada, and then maybe people want to fly in. Absolutely. Maybe people are, yo, I've been watching GC fight 3 times now. He's doing a local show. Shit, why don't we go check out Calgary's? I heard it's a great city. There's Canmore, there's Banff next to it. Like, they can make a vacation out of it. Who knows what opportunities could lie? So I think, like, that's the power of social media. That's what we can, like, that's the next step.
I love it, man. Putting the power back to the fighters, because at the end of the day, who's gonna fight? It's the fighters, right? So an additional question to that, because it's kind of related to it, being an influencer. What are your thoughts about influencer boxing?
So that's a good question. That's a really good question. I love that one, because at first you kind of think like, okay, because I'm kind of sit on both sides of it. As a boxer I spent like my last 10 years fighting amateur fights, putting everything, my heart and soul into boxing, hoping that one day I'd get a chance to be on a big show, make a lot of money, right? So that I can take care of my family and I can continue to grow the sport. So when you see, from a boxer's standpoint, you're like, yo, I bust my ass in the gym, I bleed, I sweat, I cry, I'm fucking doing everything I need to do. So-and-so says whatever they say, and now they get to do all these shows and the big fight. Like for example, like Salt Poppy. I like him, man. Like, cool dude, bro. Like, I'm inspired by his story too, and he takes boxing seriously. You can see some of them do take the boxing very seriously, but it's just like, at what point, like, when you're a fighter, you look at these guys and you get, like, it's the jealous side too. It's like, man, like, but then my other side goes, well, I did it. I built up a following, right? I might not talk my way into the fights by talking shit, but like, one day I'm gonna find my way, like, my niche way of getting myself to those fights. So, you know, the zone, like,
there you go. Right here.
I'm right here. I'm right here. I'll fight any of your influencers. I don't give a fuck. You put me in with any one of them. But yeah, like, that's what I'm saying is, like, the other side of me is like, I respect that hustle, because these people found a way in. Although it just happened to be our sport, and at first, if you take that, like, toxic mindset of, like, the gatekeeper mindset, like, I've been doing this, you haven't. It's like, yo, hold up. They haven't, but now they are. And if they're taking it seriously, they deserve the respect, because as a fighter, we respect anybody that gets in the ring.
Absolutely.
So why don't we, just because they're an influencer, we're not going to expect them? Or respect them? No. Like, I respect all of those guys that get in the ring and fight, because at any point you get hit with those small gloves, you can get knocked out.
They're pros right away too. That's the thing.
Exactly, and they're pros right away. And then other people will be like, yeah, but they're not a real pro fighter. I'm like, yo, what is pro fighting? 2 guys get in the ring, guys fighting in front of other people, right? Small gloves, and they're trying to knock each other's heads out. What else is pro fighting? That is pro fighting. Right? yes, we can talk about skill sets. Yes, we can talk about you gotta earn your way there. That's how boxing was built. They're showing us a new side.
I love that.
Right?
I
And now,
love that.
instead of like tearing it apart, right, and separating it, why don't we find a way to meet in the middle, right? Where maybe like we don't gotta be like, yo, like, you know how Jake Paul is like fighting some fighters and stuff, like that's one way to bridge the gap. It's kind of like you start somewhere, and I mean, we all know pro boxers, like, you build that record anyway. Right, like you start small, you fight in local small shows. I'm doing that. I'm going to well, I mean, we don't have any shows going on in Western Canada, like we say, so for me to find a fight here would take me forever. So now we got to go somewhere that they're always having fights. But now they got more people over there willing to fight all the time. Is the competition nearly going to be as intense as it would be if you were on a big show? Not yet, right? But like, we all build up, like, boxers got to build their record, right? It's the same way these influencers are fighting each other and building their skills, and then eventually they might call out a fight, like a higher ranked fighter, and then meet in the middle. It's the same thing.
Absolutely.
Right? It's the same thing in a way. So I think, like, we got to stop gatekeeping. We got to stop trying to tear it apart. Just trying to find a way to put it all together.
Man, I love it. The way you say it was perfect, man. It's, for me, to add to that, yes, man. It's to talk about what we talked about before. As a pro fighter, how do you get fights? You have to market yourself. These guys, they have the following. Guess what they did? They just used their following to market themselves. And they're getting the fights.
Bro, like, they got the following through other means. Like, they did streams or whatever, right? Like, they could be a gamer, but they got all, like, but they made relatable content. They made themselves relatable, and now people are invested in them. They don't care what they do.
Whatever they do,
they're fucking there. Snowboarding, skiing, whatever.
Influential snowboarding.
If people are gonna watch it, it's gonna make them money.
It makes sense.
So if they're like, yo, it's just boxing is that outlet right now. So it's like, yo, why are we trying to stop it? It's making the sport grow. It's putting more eyes on it. Right. So-and-so who, like Joe Blow, who's never watched a boxing fight, now likes so-and-so because they follow them for their content. But then they're like, oh, they're getting into a boxing match. And then they watch it, they're like, oh, shit, boxing's pretty cool. This is so much fun to watch. Like, I wonder what it'd be like. And then they start looking, and then they see the conversations being had. We're talking about the barbershop conversations. Like, boxing is a fun sport to be a fan of. When you're talking like, fantasy matchups, who so-and-so fighting so-and-so, it's never gonna happen because some of them are passed away, some of them are way past, like they're different 80 years old, different eras. But it's so much fun to talk about. It's a fun sport to be a part of. So then it brings more eyes, it brings more exposure, and it'll help the sport grow. So influencer boxer, I love it. I think it's a great thing. At first, I was also the part of me was like, yo, I felt like almost betrayed. It's like, yo, we work so hard as a real boxer to not get this chance. But it's like, yo, times are changing. You got to change with it. If you don't, you're gonna
fall behind.
You fall behind. Yeah.
The good thing is, like you said, it is bringing more and more eyes. That's the good part.
That's the good part.
Yeah.
More and more casuals, which is good because we need a lot of casuals watching.
You always need casuals in every sport. There's casuals. There's diehard fans. But where do the diehard fans come from? They started as a casual. So
exactly.
You need to filter through, right?
Yeah,
you need the
Those are the rookies. The rookie fans.
And you need the casuals because you gotta be able to tell someone you're a casual. You don't know shit about boxing.
Yeah, right.
And that's fun because then they're like. Then some of them will be like, man, I don't know shit about boxing. I'm gonna get more into it. And now they become a hardcore fan, and it's a cycle.
It's a cycle. Now they're telling other casuals, man, you're a casual.
It's a chain effect. You're a casual.
Little circle, but it's ultimately a funnel.
It's a funnel, and it all comes into that greater picture, right? And that's all it's about growing the sport, making more people inspired. And bro, fighting, come on. Everyone wants to, every man, I think, every guy growing up, right? Like everyone think, once I win a fight, I see red, I don't care, bro. But it's like, yo, you get humbled. You learn that you don't know shit about fighting. You know that how vulnerable you are. Don't matter how strong you are, how fast. There's someone faster. There's someone more skilled. Always, right? So it's that. Like, it's such a mystique.
So I want to take a little step back here and talk about like your whole boxing journey so far. If you were to do it differently, What would you do differently?
This is a tough one. This one is an emotional one, if anything. If the one thing I would do differently would probably have been, I would have left my old gym a lot sooner. There was chances to leave at certain times. I saw the toxic patterns and behaviors and how other fighters came and went. And I was seeing a pattern, and I saw how other coaches would come and go and get pushed away. But I always thought like, oh, but I'm the golden child. I'm the one that's picking up the mantle here. Another part is I felt a responsibility to all the people I coached there. So I was always, and I built a team around me, and my teammates, some of them are still there. I've got so much love for them all still. I still root for them. They root for me, and I love it, right? And the only thing I would have wished though is like, if I left and found these guys sooner, I think I would have already been a pro. I think I would have already done way more in my boxing career already. I feel like part of me was held back a lot at my old gym. And whatever the reasons may be, like if my old coach as well, I'm not going to drop his name. I don't think it's necessary. But like, whatever his reasons may be, like I just wish like at that time, like if he would have put more faith in me, or like not just faith. I think he had a lot of demons too. Like I can't blame him fully. I forgive him. Like I don't hold any ill intent towards him, or I will never think like I will never regret that. I can't go back in time anymore. No. I'm just gonna make the best of what I can do right now. So I'll never regret it. But if I could do something different, it would have been leave that gym sooner. There was times where I could have and I should have, and then chase my current dream sooner, because I am 29 now. Like a 29-year-old making a pro debut. A lot of the zone. Like don't worry, I started late, but I don't have any damage built up. Like a lot of people start young, right? And by they sparred billions of rounds. Yeah, they But I feel like at some point everyone has a toll they can take in boxing. I'm so fresh. Like I have no damage built up, So I think I can make a run for it, and I'm gonna show everyone, But yeah, like that's the one thing I would have liked to go a little sooner, and then find the right people sooner, surrounded me with the right people sooner, and not get sucked into something that wasn't it. But I had no way of knowing at the time. So
I was just gonna say, lessons bring lessons. Lessons bring blessings, man.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
I like that though, because like your environment plays a big part.
Yeah.
On how you will progress as an athlete.
Yeah.
Right. And like I know Steve, he preaches this a lot. Like every time he wins, me and my team, it's like it's always his team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And when you moved with I forgot his coach's name, Hoffa.
Mike Hoffa.
Yeah, like
Mike Moffa.
Mike Moffa, yeah, they've just been killing it the past few fights, right?
And bro, like as much as boxing, you get in there, you fight by yourself, right? You're the one taking all the damage and everything, but I'm on both ends of it. I'm a coach. I corner people too, and I fight. I'm in the ring, right? And when you're in there, you're not alone, but you are. But at the same time, you have a team. You train with them, like your sparring partners, bro. This is like this Mark right here. That's Angelo. This one's here. That's Dylan. like
all the cookies, yeah,
right. Like we mark each other. But we grow together. We want to see each other succeed. We push each other to the limits. It's a team. I can't get better if I'm not surrounded with guys that are better than me.
Big.
True.
Right.
Facts.
As a boxer, at my old gym, I was up here, and I'm coaching everyone else. So my progress got stunted too. But here, when I got here, now there's so many high-level pros. I'm back to here, and I got to feel that climb again. And I'm like, dude, I'm finally like, now that feels good. You know what I mean? So it's crazy. Like that part of it all, like you're not alone. It's an individual competition when you're fighting, but you're fighting against their coaches and all their sparring partners,
team,
all the work that they put in, all versus all the work that you put in. It's almost like two armies, right? Yeah. And you got the two commanders fighting each other.
Exactly.
That's facts.
Yeah, and then it's like we're trying to prove that our system worked, and they're trying to prove that their shit works, and that's what I love about boxing too. It is not Absolutely not. It's a team sport. It is a
Good
team
way to
sport.
put it. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, right. Because we preach that all the time. Because like a lot of people say boxing is a lonely sport,
Yeah.
which it is, right?
It is.
But it's you have your whole team, you have your whole gym supporting you too.
Yeah.
Right. So
I think boxing is a lonely sport in different ways. You meet the most family you could ever meet. Like people that like, family is more than blood when it's boxing.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. It's a lonely sport, but it's a team sport. It's a weird. It's always like that.
Yeah,
It's
always.
double negative, whatever you call it. Yeah.
You have a big following. We're just wrapping it up now, but plug your socials, man, where they can find you.
Yeah, bro, it's super easy. GC Boxing on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Like, big on those. I think Facebook, even, like, you'll probably find it on Facebook because Facebook and Instagram are connected now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, GC Boxing, that's where you can find all my tutorials. I'm going to be releasing programs soon with my coach, Steve Willett. We're working on something spicy for you
Call
guys.
that
So,
chemist.
yeah, just a lot of stuff going on, and you can keep up with my pro career, everything else. I'm going to be doing a lot of fun stuff, and hopefully a lot more of this, too, because this is
hell
fun.
Oh,
Hell
there'll
yeah.
be way more than this.
Yeah.
Man, last question. We asked everyone this, man. Who should be our next guest on this podcast? And obviously, once you plug that person, you gotta hook us up.
All right, let me think. You know what? That's a tough one because I think you guys already got a lot of our
Especially
guys,
here, yeah.
right? There is one guy. I wonder if he'd be able to do it. He's out in. I think he's located out in L.A.
We can Zoom.
Yeah,
even
if
where
it's
he's
Zoom.
from.
So, okay, this guy, I met him when I was at the Caleb Plant fight. Mark Castro. Do you guys know who he is?
Yeah,
Mark
bro.
Castro.
The zone guy.
The zone guy. He fights on the zone.
Yeah.
I love him. This guy is a.
He's always he always fights in the Canelo undercard.
Yes, he fights on the Canelo undercard.
bro.
Bro, he is relatable, man. He saw me. I was like, yo, I seen your fight, and he came out. He talked to me, and he's so humble. I'm like, bro, like I seen you on the big screen, and this dude is so cool. He followed me on Instagram right away. He's like, yo, if you ever need anything, like we chat. And then recently he messaged me because he was like, yo, my dad is getting into doing like a little more coaching and stuff, and he asked me about like asked me about like what it's like coaching and stuff. So then like we went back and forth.
That's
and I'm like,
sick.
dude, you are such a cool dude, man. Like, and I look up to you. I'm trying to follow in your footsteps. I think he's a little younger than me, but that's what I want to do. Like, I'm like, you are living my dream. So he would be an amazing guy. So if you guys can get him on there, Mark Castro, bro, yo, and I think he's got it. Like, he's got the qualities of a great, he's marketable. He's
Absolutely.
a good-looking dude. He's a hard worker. He's humble. He'd be great to have. He'd be great to have. So if you
Castro.
through Zoom or something like that, look him up, Mark
We'll
Castro.
make it work. Don't worry. We'll make it work.
He's the Elon Musk spot.
Yeah, man.
He does a lot of the blindfolded hand movement drills.
He's pretty sick too, man. He's
slick.
so good.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
good. He's good.
Mark Castro will be reaching out, my man.
Yeah,
Us three.
Yeah, us three. Yeah, it'd be sick. No, I appreciate that, man. And as always, thank you so much for sitting down with us. Obviously, we're gonna do this way more because
There's way more things to talk about.
We got
so
some
much.
cool things cooking.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
overheating. That's why. We'll let it rest, but we'll make it work.
We'll do more shit because talking boxing, we can do this all day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right, and
All
I know
day.
you can do this
all day, all week.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
I don't
So-
even sleep.
So we'll run it back. Definitely, we'll get some crazy shit popping off here, man. And again, your fight is happening December
9th.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be
La Paz. Yeah.
The Paz mix.
Is it gonna be a live stream?
I don't know if this will be live streamed. I'm gonna see if we can figure that out. Because I would love to, and then it could show hey, more people would like to watch it. But if not, they do have a YouTube channel that this promoter puts all the fights on.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, it'll probably be there. Yeah.
Hell
Obviously,
yeah.
you're gonna share, so we're gonna share it too.
Yeah, I'll share it. Yeah, it'll be cool. It'll be
Fucking right, so sick. But GC, thanks again for taking the time to sit down with us.
Man, it's
Appreciate you guys.
pleasure. It's been fun,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Right. Until next time, guys. My name is MP.
SB, and we have,
GC Boxing.
Hey, we're out.
and we're out.
Peace.